live from Johnny's Donuts Studios in beautiful downtown San Diego. You're watching Mad Bomber Podcast.
Mm, I don't think you draft a guy like me to not give me carries and touches, and I'm ready for the responsibility, and like I said, it's gonna start with me, and in the run game, and I gotta continue to get better. If we're being honest, it's been losing culture around here for a long time, but we have to continue to work to fix that and bring winning back here.
Is it almost a matter then that the buys coming at a good time so that everybody can kind of recalibrate, or would you rather just keep going, or the buy's good for injuries? What do you think?
I mean, buy is good either way. Just kind of let guys refresh. Let guys' bodies heal a little bit. Regardless if we won or lost, a buy would be good for us. But once again, whether it's a buy or not, we got to get back to work and figure out how to get better.
Tonight we got Raider Roundtable, and we got three gentlemen. I don't want to say. All I can tell you is we were very, very lucky to get all three of these guys at once. First and foremost, I got Rudy. Rudy's one of my buddies. We were pickleball friends, and this guy, when he says something, it always makes sense. So I'm really happy to have you on. Thanks for coming on, Rudy.
Thanks, Johnny, for having me on.
Oh, no problem. And second, we got Steven Chavez making his return appearance. Steven is the president of the Black Hole chapter in Sacramento. And Steven had a great time 2 weeks ago. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. But we're going to bring in Ryan. He is the next part of our roundtable. Ryan is from San Diego. And he's another one that's, when he says something, it makes sense. All right, guys, I'm going to open it up. Let's go ahead. Age before beauty. Rudy, I don't know who's older. Hey, we just saw that what Ashton Genty said. So what do you take out of both of those videos? And I mean, it seemed like to me it was pretty honest, right?
I think it was honest, but I think we've talked about in the past that, you can't really have a run game if you don't have a good passing game. If you don't have a passing game to offset that running game, all they're going to do is just stack the box on him. He's not going to be able to go anywhere. So, I mean, it doesn't matter if they hand him the ball as much as possible. If we don't have a passing game or an air attack that coincides with it in order for him to get some positive yardage, then it's pointless. So I think he was. Yes, it's true. He has the legs. He has the ability to do it. But if the Raiders don't have a passing game, it's all for naught.
So do you think the passing game, would you consider the offensive line a part of the passing game, or do you just put this on the shoulders of Geno?
I mean, the line can only do so much, right? I mean, if you have 8 or 9 guys in the box, he's not going to be able to do anything. I mean, the line can only hold on to so much. But if you don't have short passes going through or a deep ball threat, and Geno being able to identify that and do play action in order to throw off the defense, then it's pointless. I mean, the line can only do so much.
Okay. Steven, you witnessed what Ashton just said. What do you think? And if you want to, if you have your own thoughts on what's going on with the offense, I agree with you too, Rudy. I mean, they stack the box the whole time. And sometimes we try that inside zone, and our inside zone blockers are rookies. And that happens to be a problem. Steven, your thoughts on Ashton Genty?
I really think Chip Kelly needs to come up with a way to try to get the ball in his hands in different ways. Obviously with our line, and like Rudy was saying about our passing game, running the ball up the middle is just not working. We're not getting any holes. We're not getting any push. We're not getting anywhere. So I think we need to work more on getting them on the outside, some dump offs, something. Include them in the passing game more. But I really think Ashton Genty should be touching the ball 20 plus times a game, somehow, some way, whether it's running, catching the ball. Hopefully getting Brock Bowers back is going to help a bit. But man, the line is just killing us. It's killing us with Gino. It's killing us with Genty. And I don't have a problem with anything he said right there. I mean, he knows what he can do, and he knows he wants the ball. And I like to hear that from a rookie, that he's confident, and he's like, hand me the ball. Let's go. Let's do this. Let me help you win.
What do you think about his when he said it's a losing culture around here? Is that something that you like, or is that something you think should be behind doors, or
it's probably something he should have said behind doors, but I mean, he's not wrong. It has been, but I'm pretty sure coaching staff and ownership probably didn't like that comment, and I'm sure they probably told him something about that, but he's not wrong. So, I mean,
do you think they said, "Hey, Rook, stay in your lane"?
Maybe. It's possible.
You know what? I love that lane, but that's just me. But I get it. And as he grows, he'll learn how to be a little bit more, have some more moxie. Okay, Rhino, what did you think about that? And then what do you think about what's going on with the offense as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with everything that's been said so far. I thought, I appreciated in the first clip there that he showed that he took ownership, right? He wasn't pointing the finger at the offensive line. He wasn't pointing the finger at the play calling. He said, look, he goes, I was drafted to carry the ball, and they got to hand me the ball, and I got to get better. So I appreciated the ownership there. We knew we were getting a high character guy, right? All the reports out of college, all the reports out of high school, we knew he was going to be a high character guy, and he's proving that he is that. I do think that he got his emotions got the better of him a little bit in that second clip. And, you can tell the guy doesn't like to lose. And I can appreciate that. I can really appreciate somebody who's got the competitive spirit to go out there and say, look, it's been a losing culture. We got to fix that. We got to change that. So while, yes, I agree, it probably should have been said behind closed doors. And I respect that it's a game of emotions, and he's all in. He wants to win, and he wants the players around him and the team around him to win. So I do appreciate that. In terms of the offense, the offensive line is got its gaps. It's got its holes. I think, especially the interior has been problematic. That being said, I think the play calling has not been what I expected of a Chip Kelly offense. I thought the first couple of games of the season, he was trying to get cute and had some really creative play calling, maybe a little too creative for Gino. I think Gino, and we've talked a lot about this, he's got a tendency to stare down his receiver. He doesn't go through his progressions. He sticks with his number one read and stares him down, and that really hurts him, especially on those short drops. He's got to get better in that space, or you know what, like Steve said, get the ball in Genty's hands. Let him get creative. Put him out in the flat and let him run. I think we gotta open up the playbook a little bit here. I do think the addition of Tyler Lockett might help a little bit there. He's got a little bit of speed, can open up the back end. Getting Bowers back is obviously going to help. But Gino's just got to do a better job with ball. Ball security's got to be number one, and he's got to do better on those short to midterm throws.
Well, as Rudy said, though, we're not giving him the ball. I remember against the Titans, we did a wheel route first play right out of the bat. Did a wheel route. I mean, it was, and if the throw was a little bit better, that's gone for 6. Do you know how many times Ashton Genty handled the ball against Kansas City in the first 15 plays? Take a guess.
2 or 3, right?
1.
Was it?
Yep. 1.
This one, it was 2.
Unless James Jones was lying. I just watched a whole episode and said he's pissed at Chip Kelly. Whatever it is, not enough. He's pissed. He said, "Look, if you're not giving this guy the ball," to what Rudy just said, how are you going to run play action pass? You're not giving Gino. And again, we've heard the great Lincoln Kennedy say he needs to be under center, and we need to run the ball more. And I mean, in 11 personnel, Ryan, I'm going to go back to you and go back the other way. In 11 personnel, do we bring too many people into the line? Is that something that we are we going to now with Bowers? When Bowers does an 11 personnel, not Ian Thomas and Mayer, then he spreads out. Sometimes he even comes in as a fullback. So we'll play him all over the place, which will mess with the linebackers. But I would think that it's safe to say that has is Chip Kelly found his niche with the Raiders in his play calling? Is it his fault or is it the player's fault? There was guys this week that were talking about his we're going to go over that on Friday, is that Geno Smith, when he's on time, he's okay. But it seems like when he does a 5-step drop, the receivers are looking for a 4-step drop. When he's at a 6-step drop, he's looking for a 5-step drop. There's only a few times when he's been on the same page. So I don't know what that is. I think that's an offensive coordinator's position. Ryan, what do you think what would you do if you were the offensive coordinator right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're clearly not on the same page across the board, and that's, starting in the trenches with the offensive line and picking up blitzes. That's the quarterback drop and timing with the receivers. That's the running back option plays and the option routes that they're running. It's painfully obvious that the offense in general is just not on the same page. Obviously some of that takes time, right? I think that the offensive line has started to get better over the last 3 weeks at picking up some of the blitzes. I do think that the offensive coordinator and Chip Kelly, he's got to take accountability and bring that together in a cohesive way, whether that's, simplifying the play calls or simplifying the way that they line up. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, they just seem completely out of sync. And I do think that starts with the offensive coordinator, but then, it translates down to the center and the quarterback, right? Obviously something that Geno and Meredith are doing at the line is not translating into the plays.
Yeah. And in another turn, there's been like, I don't know. There was that one call we're shitty in the red zone, and that's really been bad. I mean, even that one call to Kappa, they were going to throw the ball to Kappa. I mean, I was there looking, and I'm even embarrassed. I mean, and who am I? But I'm just like embarrassed for that play call. I mean, that's what you got. Now we lose another down, and it wasn't even close. And if they tried to sell it, that was not a Ben Johnson treat. That was crap. What do you think they should do? They should, there's always this one guy. I love you. This is my Niner fan buddy. I say the Raiders bring back Garoppolo.
Please don't do that.
I love this guy.
That's
Flecto. Flecto loves to throw shit. And he's had a bad week, so it's going to come hard today. Steve, what would you do if you were the Raiders offensive coordinator? Why does Daniel Jones just step back, throw a 5-yard pass? Why does Mahomes just throw a 5-yard pass to Rashid Rice? Daniel Jones is going to make a lot of money next year because he's dumping the ball off quickly. And those are quick passes. Tua did it this weekend. I mean, it's like, why can't we do a draw or a screen? Maybe not a draw with all the guys, but what about something like a bubble pass or something where it just there was a play that and I always come back to this. When the Broncos had Jake Plummer, he used to do this naked bootleg, and he would come around and they would flood the zone. Remember, Geno did it on 4th down and hit Mayer against the Titans. Is there a way that we could get Geno off the spot and move him around a little bit? What do you think? If you're the offensive coordinator, what plays would you start running?
I've been asking for that for a while now. Why aren't we, especially with the way the line's been playing, why aren't we moving Geno out of the pocket and letting him throw on the run or something? Try create something. I really do feel there's a disconnect somewhere with this offense with Chip Kelly right now, because I can't remember which one of the fellas here mentioned that, Geno's just staring down his receivers.
Yep.
Well, when we brought him over from Seattle, that was one of the things that they talked about, was that he did good at going through his progressions and finding his receivers. He wasn't staring down receivers, and he was accurate, and he was doing this, and they didn't have a great line in Seattle either. So why here has he reverted back to the old Geno, from before Seattle times?
Is it Deontay Thornton's fault? Jack Besh's fault? Could it be?
It could be the rookies just not getting open, not knowing the routes yet. I think we were all hoping that Dante Thornton was going to be a really good deep threat, and it just hasn't come to. And I think that's one of the reasons why they brought in Tyler Lockett, because it's the familiarity with Geno. So they're hoping maybe they can get something going with a comfort with a receiver that he had for years.
Okay, let's watch this, and then I got you, Rudy. Okay, here we go. Oh, no, we don't. There we go. Back shoulder pass. That's Tyler Lockett for y'all, who will be wearing number 17. So if you guys got a Devontae Adams jersey, good for you. Okay, Geno, still staring. That's a nice pass. That means that he's on the same page. So, Rudy, what would you think about? What do you think? Is there something that they're just not together yet? Do you think that they could get on the same page, or is it something that? What do you think the Raiders should do?
I mean, I agree that there's something not clicking with what's going on. I don't know if it's dumbing down the playbook for Geno Smith, in order, shrink it down a little bit. I still think, again, I'm not a smart man, and I would
Yes,
still,
you are. Yes, you are.
I would still San Francisco's old playbook and just go with the West Coast offense and just do these, the little dump off passes, let the receivers, make something happen, and then, create that spreading of the field that way, and giving the running game a chance too. Maybe some sweeps, more. And I agree. Have him scramble, let him use his legs. I mean, when he was with Seattle, he rushed quite a bit. And, but yeah, now that he's on, he's wearing a Raiders uniform, it looks like he might as well be playing for the Jets. It's just
okay.
not...
So Rudy, do you pull him at any point during the season, or do you wait 17 games, 18 weeks, and see what you got?
If I were behind the line there, I would probably go. I would start a rookie quarterback and just go from there. I mean, I don't think we're going to make the playoffs. We're not going to, we're not going to do anything. Yeah, we're going to have to swallow that paycheck, but let's see what these young arms got. I mean, look at Dart. Dart, they pulled Wilson, and Dart just like lightning in a bottle. Scatterbrew,
Oh, don't say that word.
he was doing well, really well.
God, he looked great. God, he looked great.
I mean, these kids came in with some intensity, and I'm like, what, we need to get that over here.
So piggyback on that, guys, because on the after the, I'll tell you what, man, you want to get some good viewership. When the Raiders lost, I did my show from Kansas City. Man, I had all kinds of people on. It's like, I don't want that. I don't want anybody to watch. I'd rather win. But so there was guys that were talking about Cam Miller. Why not? Why not bring in Cam Miller? Would you go to Kenny Pickett first? What do you think? Would you guys go to Kenny Pickett first? Because if you get rid of Geno, you can walk away from Geno next year and have 18-5 on the cap. Oh, I'm not gonna post the score for y'all.
Yes.
Pow. You're talking about the Kings. I'm not talking about the game.
No, Kings. I think they're done. They lost it.
But so next year, if you want to go ahead and go, you know what, we're done with Geno. So Kenny Pickett will be a free agent at the end of this year. So do you see what you have with Kenny Pickett for the rest of the years? And then say, we're back where we're going for the Fernando Mendoza sweepstakes, or the Dante Moore sweepstakes, the Ty Simpson sweepstakes. And I don't want to talk about those yet because it's not real, and I don't want to talk about that yet. But with this team right here, what would you do? Anybody?
I would say right now, you still stick with Geno, but if he comes out these next couple games and he's just throwing picks, not doing well. I think you do go to Kenny Pickett first. I think AOC is supposed to be coming back, but I'd hate to see him behind this line. And maybe later on in the season you try Cam Miller, but he was drafted, so he was our last draft pick for a reason. He's somebody I think they're trying to develop. He's not ready to be thrown in the fire yet. So
What did you hear about him? What did you hear about him though? I mean, what was Ryan? What did they say about Mr. Miller when he was drafted? I know you know.
I mean, I think he's a quality athlete. I think he's a quality athlete, but I'd agree he's not ready yet. I think there may be a time and a place. He's not ready yet. I agree. I think you got to stick with Geno for now. You look at the next 5 weeks or so, and at least 3 of them are winnable games. Winnable. Not saying that they're going to win, but they're winnable games. And I think you got to see what you got in the rest of the team too, right? At the end of the day, it's not just about the quarterback. It's a team sport for a reason, and Geno gives you the best chance to see what you got with the rest of the team right now. That may change in the next 3 to 5 weeks, but I agree. You got to stick with Geno for now.
Here's the thing, Johnny. So again, here's Kansas City blowing us out in Kansas City. Why didn't we just yank Geno in the fourth quarter and put in Pickett and give him some reps? We're not going to come back. We're not going to, score 5 touchdowns to get back in the game. I mean, obviously that was obvious. So we should have pulled him out in the fourth and then just let Pickett finish out the fourth quarter. Go for there. If that's the case next week against the or this week against the Jags, then if we're losing in the fourth quarter by like 3 or 4 touchdowns, sit Geno and let Pickett have the ball. See what happens.
Well, they did bring in Pickett, and he fumbled the first play
right in front of me. Hey, I was, but it was garbage ball, and they couldn't even.
Yeah.
I would do if you're gonna do a swap, like what Rudy says. I say you do it at halftime. It's like, you know what? That way you can go ahead and go, okay, Geno, we're gonna see what we got with this guy, and so, okay, the Souzas, my boys, yay! They probably just got through eating, and I won't say where they ate because I got slammed outside. Did you guys know that I got taken off the air?
No.
Did you?
Yeah, because I said because my kids were at a restaurant, and I said the restaurant and what they're popular for, and YouTube shut me down for like 20 minutes. So anyway, I think that I think you guys are right, but there are a lot of people that think that they saw that rookie in the preseason and he played well against second and third stringers, that he could come in and do a good job. I don't know. I'm still, let's see Geno, so that at the end of the year we go like this, unless Geno gets hurt. And Pickett didn't have the whole time to get OTAs and all that, but that's just the way I feel. Now, part of the other thing is we drafted some rookies this year that we haven't really played, and let's talk about one of our guys, Charles Grant. He's an offensive tackle, number 60 for the Raiders, and he a 2-time first team FCS All-American 2023, 2024. First team All CAA. He was William Mary, and I know I make sure that it's not the SEC, the Big 12, but 2022, 2023, 6'5", 311. That boy likes to eat. And when do we start trying these guys? There was 2 third-round picks. We had one after another. We had Caleb Rogers, who was the 98th pick overall from he's a Red Raider, just like our other guy that we hope gets going, Tyree. And then at number 99, we take Charles Grant. And Charles Grant and Caleb Rogers have been healthy scratches for like almost all of the season. do we start talking about putting those guys in, and would they do a worse job, or what do we do? And I'll go ahead. Start with you, Stevie.
I think they're going to hold off as long as they can with them because, again, just like Cam Miller, I think their goal was to develop these guys. They didn't want to put them into action this year. But I think, again, later on in the season, if things are not turned around and gone really bad, what more than getting into the game will help them develop? I mean, might as well just go out there and play them, see what they do, get them some experience.
So, and Lincoln Kennedy had said that, and I believe a lot what Lincoln Kennedy says. He said the same thing. You're not going to get a guy in the third round that you want playing immediately, other than DJ Glaze played. And do we like DJ Glaze so far? What is it? What would you give, Rudy? What do you give DJ Glaze as a letter grade so far this year?
I would, probably say a B. He's in there. He's room to grow. It's something you do. I'd say a B.
What do you think, Rhino?
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd say B plus. I think he's done a decent job of holding down the end of the line. I think to me the offensive line woes really start in the middle and work their way out. We've had some, say, somewhat decent stability, at least before Colton Miller went down with his injury. The tackle spots look decent. It was really that interior line that was really just collapsing before anything could get going.
You know what? And I saw Parham do a great job. The JPJ sack when Chris Jones destroyed JPJ, man, Parham had a good game on that. For the 30 plays that the Raiders had, Parham looked really good. All right, let's go over to the defense. Proven good D-line can win while O struggles. Has our defensive line done any good? What would you guys give? Rudy, I'm going to start with you, and then I'm going to go to the other real quick. Well, what would you give? I'm going to say 3 players. I want you to give me a grade. Malcolm Kuntz.
I'd probably say C plus B, right around there.
Steven?
I'd give him a D. I don't even hear his name.
Ryan?
Yeah, I was going to go C minus D. I think he's just been wildly inconsistent and disappears at times.
Doesn't set the edge.
Yeah.
Doesn't set the edge. Okay, Rhino, what would you give a grade to Jeremy Chin? Because I'm going to show it on Friday.
He's had his moments. When he's locked in and he comes up into the box and, attacks the run. I think he's got his moments. I'll give him a B minus.
B minus because of his run skills.
Yes.
Okay. Steven, Jeremy Chin.
Chin's a C for me because I was really expecting a lot more from him coming over from the Commanders, and I haven't seen it.
Did we get sold some snake oil, maybe?
God, I feel like it happens to us a lot.
Well, it's not as bad as who was the guy from the Rams that we got? Corey.
Is that the
Littleton.
Joyner? Oh,
Corey
Littleton, yeah.
Well, they run a 3-4. We run a 4-3. Well, it probably will work. Just sign him. You know who's the last badass linebacker we've had for the Raiders? He was just a badass.
I mean, I really like Spillane, but it's probably not who you're talking about.
Mm-mm.
The last badass linebacker, Kirk Morrison.
Badass. What about you? What about you, Rudy?
I don't recall. I can't say. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Nope. He only lasted 5 games. Vontez Perfect.
Oh, God.
Come on. Ask Jack Doyle. What happened? Jack Doyle destroyed. Okay.
The man was a yellow flag magnet.
I love him. Dude, Rudy, we should take him to play pickleball with us.
I was so disappointed when he got suspended for the rest of the season that year. I was like, oh man, come on.
What did he have emails too? And boy, that's going to be fun, isn't it? Oh boy, and Gruden's not tapping out the NFL. I don't know if you want to go ahead and take me off right now. You are so effed. This is a child show. They're so effed. God, that's going to be so great. They wanted him out of the league. They sure did. Okay, last but not least, this should be the consensus grade. Caillou Kelly Blue, number 36. Okay, Stevie, what do you got for him?
F.
Very nice. Ding, 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 ding.
I don't even need to explain myself. It's just Porter. We need Porter in there.
Oh, is that a segue to Rudy? Great on KYB, KYK, whatever it is.
I'll go with the consensus of the table here.
Okay, and then Rhino.
Oh, he's an F.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Look at that segue, and look at Johnny. Johnny was at the game with me last week. Play Porter, bench one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. Caillou Blue Kelly. Well, that's a great. That's been the consensus, and I haven't heard anything this week if they were going to bench Kelly. I mean, he's the worst cornerback in the league right now. And let's watch a little bit of Darian Porter. Darian Porter got in a few plays. Actually, he played the whole game against Indy because Stokes was hurt. Miles Fry. Ted Hendricks for the last badass linebacker. I'll take that guy any day. Okay, guys. Okay, here we go. You got Kelly right above the B on that Mad Bomber. That's Halloween Mad Bomber. Did you guys like that? I'm so trendy. Okay, so here we go. Here's the Daniel. Here's Anthony Richardson's in. So when he's in, I'm sure he's not going to throw low. Okay. Where's his head? Where's his head? Where's his head? Stays on top, stays on top, stays on top. Where's his hand? And then he goes to the ball. Guys, what do you think of that? We're going to play it over and over again. Go ahead, Stevie.
So you said that was Darian Porter?
Yep.
Yeah. I thought he played the receiver really well. Right there.
Watch this. Watch this. Look at his head. He's looking for Geno Smith. I mean, Anthony Richardson. Did I say that? Look at that white line. That's another effect from the Mad Boomer podcast. So look, he's back. Look at that leg. Boom, boom. Got the hand out, head back, then goes for the ball. Guys, what do you think of that?
I think it's good technique, right? Good technique for a guy that's only been playing cornerback for 2 years?
Mm-hmm. This is his second year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's, I'll take it. Let's give him a shot.
I think that you can't go wrong. Let's go ahead and watch another one. Okay. We were talking before right now the Raiders looking too high, kind of. And you got Porter is on the top. He's going to be going against McCaffrey right there. And they're going to go ahead and start out. Boom. Ball snapped. Safeties go down. We go ahead and go into a cover 3. Watch Porter's head the whole way. And Stokes, both of them. Look at Stokes, keeping him above. Look at Porter. The underneath guy took a loop, so now he knows he's got the guy high coming into his zone. Look at then, and I'm stealing this from somebody I saw this from. Sorry, guys. I'm not going to act like I know everything here. This guy, Porter's coming right in and cutting him off. Instead of doing a Palomau and going like way behind the guy, he cuts him off, and then watch what happens to the play. Turns him in, and the throw goes to the outside. What do you think of that, Rudy?
I think that's solid D. I mean, he's keeping an eye on where the quarterback's going.
Yep.
He's following the receiver, keeping the receiver in front of him. At the same time, following where the quarterback's looking. I think that's great. It's
Yep.
following it off.
Ryan, what do you think of Stokes too? See that? We just watched Porter keep him to the outside and keep him high. Porter actually looked a little better. It looks like Stokes is not. He wants to keep him low. He wants to keep him in front.
Yeah, I think Stokes looks like he lost a step on, or he got a step taken on him a little bit, but I still like where his eyes are. Right, three things stand out to me about the way that Porter plays this play. Right, the first one is that first step, take the first read step, watch the quarterback, see where the play's going. The second is he's keeping his eyes on the quarterback the entire time. He's watching still seeing the whole field. Right, he knows his read and he knows his zone. And then the third thing is he takes the right angle to cut off the receiver.
Yes.
You look at Stokes, and I think he's probably got 2 out of the 3 there.
So beautiful play right there. So I believe that's at that point. What are we seeing? What are the Raiders seeing that we're not seeing? Compete. You hear that all the time, Steven. What would you do to this defense right now? Where do you think the number one problem is with this D?
I mean, we already knew coming into this year the secondary was going to be questionable, and I trust Pete Carroll, so I was okay with him starting Caillou Blue Kelly, but I think that ship has sailed. Might as well just throw the rookie out there. He's going to have his lumps, but at least he's learning and getting game time experience. Can't be any worse than having Kelly out there. And then and you're talking about disappointment in defense. I was really expecting a lot from that defensive line this year. And I thought that was going to help our deficiencies in the secondary. And it's been just Max Crosby. And he's getting triple teamed and double teamed, and nobody else is coming in and doing anything. He needs help. And that's the only way our secondary is going to get better, is if we get pressure.
Yeah, because we can't play Tennessee every game. No. And then and well, I mean, it's like I don't know. I think the defensive line has been a disappointment, because they look good in the first game. Booker looked good for a while, and then I haven't seen much from Booker. And I know that Adam Butler was hurt last game, and I didn't even know that. I was at the game
either.
And then I was like, where the hell's 69? Because how they rotate him in a lot, but usually he's the person getting rotated in for. So Butler was out, and I believe that he does a good job pushing, but there's no pressure from the outside. Those days of the Kansas City Chiefs Christmas games where Malcolm Kuntz was just taking everybody to town is over. And look, they didn't have their number one tackle in Josh Simmons. He's if Josh Simmons from the Kansas City was a healthy scratch. Where there's smoke, there's fire. So it wasn't, and they weren't keeping anybody in. In fact, they were keeping Kelsey out the whole time. So it wasn't like they were max protecting us. So with that, moving forward, guys, what do the Raiders need to do this weekend to beat the Jaguars? Ryan, you first. What do we need to do to beat the Jaguars? And then we'll talk about our newest addition after that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we talked a lot about it in the beginning of this. Is really, it starts in the trenches, right? And that's on both sides of the ball. They got to protect the quarterback. They got to avoid the turnovers. I mean, holy cow! I think through we're 12 turnovers in already, which is just way too many. I think that's the number one thing that you can help the defense do is not put them in a bad position. And we have time and time again this season given up the ball in bad position. So starting in the trenches, control the turnovers, and then we got to get the run game going. We talked a lot about it. Genty's got to get the ball well, and we gotta get the momentum moving there to control the tempo of the game. That's Chip Kelly's offense has always historically relied on tempo, and if they don't have the ball, they can't control the tempo.
What do you think, Rudy? Does Travis Hunter scare you this weekend?
Little bit. It depends. I mean, if the defense isn't constantly being put out there and getting gassed, I think, if the offense can't get it going, then that's it. That's going to be a problem, right? So if they have adequate amount of time to catch their breath and be strong. But I think you had mentioned last week what I think that the defense is really missing is that fire, that intensity, that we've seen in the past defense. When Khalil Mack was on the team, and just that intensity that they brought back then compared to now, that's what's missing. And I was hoping that, like everybody said, that defense was going to carry this team because of Max Crosby, leading the charge, and other people falling behind, and it's just not there.
Are you guys surprised they're not physical, especially on the road?
Yeah,
they're not. They're not physical at all.
I wasn't expecting so many blowouts this year,
and non-physicality, not at all.
But I think that goes back to what Genty said, right? They don't have the winning culture right now. They don't have to compete. They don't believe that they're going to win every single week.
They don't believe that. So what we did do in the bye week is, are we going to trade Jacoby Myers? And if we do trade Jacoby Myers, why would we take anything less than a fourth for him? Because that's what the compensatory pick's going to be. But now with him on the team, this guy's on the team too. That's Gino, and that's Tyler Lockett. Does Tyler take somebody's spot? Whose spot does he take? Why did they bring Tyler Lockett in? Go ahead, Stevie.
I mean, kind of what I said earlier. They brought him in with the comfort level with Gino. I think they're hoping that bringing someone he's familiar with is going to jumpstart him and maybe get some type of consistency in this offense. That would be the only reason. I'm actually surprised Lockett even signed with us. He went from the Titans, asked it for his release there, and then came to a 2-5 team. That surprised me, but I totally understand why Carroll did it, and I hope it works. As far as Jacoby, I think if they get if they get a good offer for him, I think he is gone.
So Rudy, would you trade a third? Would you take a fourth round pick for him from the right team, or are you going to take? Because usually on a compensatory pick, he's probably going to go to a pretty good playing team that's going to be good. So the draft pick won't be bad. So would you take a fourth for him?
I mean, it seems like he's not happy, right? I mean, he was upset at the beginning of the season when we signed Cooper, and he wanted out then.
Yep.
And so, I mean, he's not happy. So I would probably pull the trigger if it was a good offer.
Why didn't the send him to the Patriots for Duggar?
Yeah.
The Patriots they just traded Duggar to the Steelers for a seventh. The Steelers gave him a seventh. No, sixth, and then they gave Duggar over to him for 7 and Duggar. But that's a big contract, so he just signed a fat ass contract. So Rhino, what would you do? What would you do? And are you excited with those three? Oh, you got Bowers back, Myers back, Lockett in, and where does Lockett play?
Yeah, I mean, I think Lockett has just a very different skill set than Jacoby. I think Jacoby's more of a possession receiver. I think the hard part is you couldn't really get rid of your only possession receiver when your other possession guy in Bowers is unavailable, which made it a lot more challenging to consider trading him. I do think that there's, where there's smoke, there's fire. I think that, the Raiders are putting it out there that they're not going to trade him for any less than a fourth because of the compensatory pick. They're trying to pump up his value. There's no doubt there. No doubt that they're trying to pump up his value. I worry a little bit about being short on the possession guys. I think Lockett steps in and maybe probably takes some of Trey Tucker's snaps would be my guess, as more of the field stretcher. Definitely take some of Dante Thornton's snaps as the speedsters. I think pretty soon here we're going to have an all vertical wide receiver core and rely pretty heavily on the tight ends in Meyer and Bowers and maybe even Genty getting him out in the flats on the short throws.
Do you hate that?
I don't hate it. I would love to have a little bit more consistency in terms of possession receivers, and would love to see, I think the hard part is this year we haven't seen Bowers really. He got hurt in week 1, and, we haven't seen what the offense can look like at full steam. So I'd like to see over the next few weeks get a couple of reps. I know we can't with the deadline coming up quickly. So, the team's going to have to make a decision on whether or not they're throwing in the flag and they're going to trade Myers, get what they can for him, or keep him and see what they can do with a full offense.
What about that? Put a fullback in front of Genty and pound people. What do you guys think about that? Good question, Husk. I know it's kind of that's a Gruden thing, and that's Mike McDaniels does it, and you know who else does it and does it very well? Is the Los Angeles Chargers. They use Ricard.
As a former high school fullback, I have to say that I love the fullback position. I was watching the Miami game the other day, and watching Alec Ingold was just made me sad that he's over there now. But I see no problem with it. You want to run power? Let's run power and put a fullback in front of Genty.
Yeah,
So
I never liked getting rid of that position. A lot of teams don't use a fullback anymore, and I just don't understand it. I've always loved the fullback position, and we've always notoriously had good fullbacks too.
Yes, yeah, going all the way back to Pete Banaszak to John Ritchie, and then we had Marcel Reese, and I liked Alec Ingold a lot too.
Alec Ingold was great.
I do too. He'll be coming to one of our black hole parties here soon. All right, so that's kind of what I was thinking on this game, and I was going to actually ask one more question about Tyler Lockett. Is he going to be more of a red zone guy for Geno? Is that why they brought him in for? Keeping him around in the red zone so he's got somebody to throw to, because a lot of Geno's touchdowns were to Lockett in the red zone. Again, Zach Charbonneau as well. I saw a lot of passes. I was watching Geno. But do you think that's a red zone thing? Is that a Chip Kelly thing? Because everybody's trying to say this is all on Carroll, because Carroll's bringing all of his guys, Forsyth, bringing in Geno. There was a linebacker he brought in too. So do you think Spytek and them are on the same page with this, or is he just going, what do you need? What do you need? Is he being a good GM? What do you think about Spytek right now?
I think he's doing what he's supposed to do right now. I mean, there's no superstar Pro Bowlers just sitting out there at the moment. So why not bring people in that are familiar with Pete Carroll? It's the off season that we're really going to see how good Spytek is.
I agree. Great answer. I agree with that.
You asked about the red zone. Can we have more than 30 plays in a game and actually make it to the red zone? That'd be nice. So we can actually find out if he's going to be a red zone target. I would love to see that.
All right. So now I have a test for the panel and a test for you at home too. It's called Guess the Raider. I just saw this on TikTok today, and I love TikTok. Oh, man, I love to play TikTok with my kids. Okay. You guys ready? Get your Google out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll give you a hint. He was a Gruden guy. Came from Buffalo.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Lee Smith. Lee
That's
Smith. This is the reason I said that. It's good to brought that one up because I didn't get it either.
You threw me off with him holding the ball.
Yeah, he only had like maybe a touchdown.
He was a
Let me
block tight end.
Knox, Talking Football Today. Wrong. Okay, here's number 2. And the final one for the Mad Bobber podcast. Brought to you by a good donut shop. Okay, here we go. This is a tough one, I think. Was Hubbard hold on. Dan Pearson, was Hubbard a fullback? You know what? Him and Van Eegen were fullback, halfback, kind of both. They ran like fullbacks, that's for sure. They didn't have speed. Okay, here we go. Everybody at home? Are you ready? Are you ready? Get your Google out. I'll let Google.
Is that not Arden Key, is it?
No, he was a different. Houston, Lamar Houston.
That's what I was thinking.
Talking football. All right, guys, that was awesome. Now, unfortunately, this is the worst part of the show. And I hate the worst part of the show. This week, we lost a great Raider. Mrs. Al Davis, Carol Davis died. Why don't you guys jump in on that?
So, First Lady of the Raider Nation, the one person that had Al Davis's ear and that could pull him away from the team because the team was his life. I heard a story earlier today about she had a heart attack and she was in a coma for like 21 days.
Mm-hmm.
And Al Davis never left her side. He pulled up a bed there at the hospital and stayed next to her the whole time until she woke up. Those two were key in the success of the Raiders in the early years, and she'll definitely be missed. And at least she's with Al now.
Yeah. What about you guys? What about? Go ahead, guys. What do you think?
I think again that picture shows that she loved the team as much as Al did. You know, her commitment to excellence was something she followed as well. And I think that, you know, they both, you know, they're both going to be missed. They're both missed. You know, if we had them today in their heyday, I guess you would say, not when that we're going senile or anything, but they would. Gosh, I wish that wish them all the best up there, and I hope that they help guide the new team to bigger and better things now.
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't much for the limelight, but you could tell by the way that the former players and coaches talk about her and what she meant to Al and to the team that she was a hell of a woman, and big loss for the Raiders family.
You know, something I didn't know is that she was part owner of the Aces.
I heard that yesterday.
I didn't know that. I just found that out as well. But yeah, you're right, Stevie. It was during football season too when he took the break and people were blown away. That's why they knew that he was the real deal. And you know, the Raiders lost Cheryl Knox earlier this year, who was with the Raiders forever, and I had the pleasure of meeting her, and that was something that was. She was one of the nicest ladies. You talk about I've never met Carol Davis. I've seen her where I stand at the football games. They take her to her suite, and always smiling. You know, the fans are going nuts when they know who she is, and the fans go nuts. And really, really sad. Really sad. It really killed. What's that? No. Go ahead.
But funny story I heard today. Phil Villapiano said that they would, when they would travel and go on the road, and they'd get to the hotel. Of course, he always hit up the bar. Carol Davis would see him at the bar, and she'd always order him a round of beers because she knew he liked his beer.
Oh wow, that guy's a blast. That guy. Yeah. Is there any way we can get him though to the?
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh man, that would be awesome. That was so. I knew the driver that used to pick her up because she came in from Oakland for every game. She never missed a game. Still this year, she never missed a game. So, yeah, it sucks, man. When Al Davis died, that was that Texans game. Remember, there was only 10 men on the field on the defense, and they said that Al Davis was the 12th man, the 11th man.
Yeah.
And then this one really hurt. This goes right back to my childhood. And that's George Atkinson, the last member of the Soul Patrol. The Soul Patrol is now together. I had the I had the pleasure of having Tom Zeman live 2 houses down from me, and he gave me all the stories on the Soul Patrol. He was the defensive backs coach for the Raiders in the 60s and 70s and into the 80s, and he talked about those guys and how close they were. I mean, that was a brotherhood. That Soul Patrol was real. That wasn't just a name. That was real. I have a picture I'm going to put on Friday. But what do you guys think? Do you guys watching George Atkinson play? He was dirty. He's straight up dirty. I saw videos, and I was at the game actually in '76 when he just punched Russ Francis with the shiver. And they talked about it. Philip Villapiano talked about how George Anderson, their trainer, would make them all casts before the game. And then they would come to the sidelines. They would be checked, and then the cast was put on. You know, he hit Francis so hard, he bloodied his nose. They say he broke his nose, but who knows? I think they're lying because they hate the Raiders. But have you guys seen some of his videos?
Oh yeah.
He was called the
Absolutely.
Criminal Element. Him and Jack Tatum. Do you remember Chuck Noll tried to sue those two guys for being the criminal element in the NFL? He tried
Didn't
to
Swan?
sue.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Didn't Lynn Swan try to sue him too?
Yeah, it was the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, Lynn Swan, little sissy. How you haven't made it? Sissy. So anyway, guys, that was awesome. I really appreciate it.
Can I speak on George real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. You guys,
Sorry.
you always can all get your last word too. I'm sorry.
George was a good friend of the Black Hole. So I actually knew a while back that he wasn't doing well health-wise. But it seemed like he was actually getting a little better. But let's just say that guy dedicated his life to the Silver and Black. He loved the Raiders. He was an ambassador for the Raiders. He coached the Raiders. He did everything he could to help that organization and former players, current players. And then he loved the fans. He would come to Ricky's, hang out with the Black Hole. He's very close with a lot of the guys from Ricky's. A story is one of our main guys, Raider Man, he got shot. And when he was in the hospital, George Atkinson and JT the Brick went to go visit him in the hospital.
Wow.
So he loved the fans. He loved the organization. I mean, he was a true Raider, and he's going to be missed. He's going to be missed big time.
Wow. Question for you. Have you been to Ricky's for a game?
Not recently.
I haven't been there in a long time. I used to go there all the time. I used to watch hockey there. They were the only ones that would show all the games there. So
it's
Rudy,
back. We have a presence there again. So
I saw that. That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
I did see that they have a Black Hole chapter there, right?
Yes, the
that
Bay Area
goes there.
chapter's back.
Yeah, and Ricky's dead though. Ricky is
Right.
he? Yeah, his dad was the original owner, and then his name's Ricky Ricardo, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And then he died. Go ahead, Rudy. Last words and final score for Sunday. Hold on, everybody. Get this videotaped.
What's going to be the final score for the Raiders?
What's your final words on the Raiders, and what do you think the score is going to be?
Gosh. Probably, I don't know, 21-34, something like that. Well, gosh, that's, I don't know if you guys saw, but there was it's not a very good thing, but there was a meme going around that says the Raiders bye week 35 and the Raiders 3. I'm like, oh man, that's terrible. that's not a good sign. So I mean, I think I wish the Raiders all the best. I hope that they get it together. I would love to see a W, and if they can scratch out 21 points, I'd be happy.
That would be a good game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mr. Steven Chavez, the prez of the Black Hole chapter of Sacramento.
Ah, man, I hate to do this. I'm never one to usually say the Raiders are going to lose a game, but man, especially after this KC game, I don't even know if they could score 20 points right now. So 24-17, and I'm probably giving them credit if it's 17. Jaguars.
Fernando Mendoza sweepstakes are available here in the Mad Boomer podcast. All right, Rhino, last word.
Look, I think I'm going to break the trend here, and I'm going to say that in honor of George Atkinson, they put it together and they put up 43 points.
How many?
43.
I heard that.
Woo! Calling it now.
43 points.
I will come down there to San Diego and kiss you if that happens.
Oh,
now I'm kind of hoping they don't.
Yeah. Well, that's the week after. All right, guys. Well, hey, thank you very much. I appreciate it. This was awesome. Let's see. We got 20-17 Raiders coming off a bye, and I think we'll play inspired. And you know what? Everybody at the start of the season thinks they're going to the Super Bowl, so that's why they play so well. And that's why we beat the Patriots, the Josh McDaniel Patriots. Wow.
That guy set the Raiders back 10 years.
I'll tell you. I know. I remember Rudy hated him, and here I was trying to be the homer. Well, if he just gets this and if he does that, it was like, ugh. Would you guys take Jason Stidham back?
No.
What's the point?
No. Nobody likes Jason Stidham? Okay. All right, guys. Well, as always, I had a great time. And, I just want to show some friends of mine good pictures of my friends. I had some really fun times. And then I went to my, can't say, but look at those happy people. But I just had a really great time with my friends this weekend when I was up in the Bay Area. So thank you. And that's us for us from Johnny Donut Studios. We will see you Friday with the Oracle. Thanks, guys. You have a good day. Good night now.
Thanks, fellas.
Now it's Ciani to the left. Biletnikoff to the right against Marsalis. Back is Lamonica. Throws for Biletnikoff. Touchdown Raiders! Biletnikoff is having words right now with Marsalis. Fred caught that ball after quite a physical battle with Marsalis in the right corner of the end zone. He went on out of the end zone, and then instead of slamming the ball into the turf, he ran back in about 10 yards to where Marsalis was and defiantly slammed it in the turf in front of Marsalis. The two tight ends are lined up as tight ends. Back goes Darrell to pass. He's looking for Smith, but instead goes down the middle. Chester, touchdown Raiders! Holy Toledo, what a great call! 19 yards and a Raider touchdown to make it 22-3. Chester had gotten free at the 5 and was all alone in the end zone 2 yards in. The Chargers now have a brilliant opportunity to put this game away. Here's Williams to the left, Garrison to the right, flanks right, Charlie Smith out to the left as a wingback, leaves only one back to block, that's Hubbard. LaMonica back, gets fine blocking, now he throws down the middle, Branch at the 20. Branch at the 18, tripped up, keeps going, reverses to the 15, he's at the 10, he dances down to the 9-yard line. First and goal to go Raiders. 1 minute and 30 seconds left to go, and hang on to your hats. Branch is still in. He goes to the right, slotted inside Biletnikoff. 5 defensive backs in there. LaMonica gives to Smith, sending him to the left. He's got Upshaw in front. He's at the 5. He's at the 2. It's a touchdown Raiders! Charlie Smith from 9.5 yards out. Oakland has gone in front. Clarence Davis is in for Charlie Smith. He's a deep threat on pass reception. Back goes Stabler to pass, steps away from the rush. He's going to run up the left side. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Touchdown, Oakland Raiders!